Well, we lived in a small city which called Luceniec, that's in Czechoslovakia. We had a restaurant where my parents were working very hard. Since 1938, when the Hungarian occupied our place, it started to begin the hard life for the Jewish people in our city. When I reached age 15, I had to go to work in a brick factory to help out my parents to make a living, because after the Hungarian came in, they took away the licenses from all the Jewish people. So all of us, the children, had to go to work. And that was when the Germans came in 1944, it began a much harder life. So after the Germans came in our city, then start the hardest life for the Jewish people. First of all, they picked up the rich people, and they took away everything from them, gold and whatever they can. They took away their homes, and after a few weeks they took all the Jews in a ghetto, which I was there only one night. And then they took me away in a labor camp with all my friends, which the same age. It was young kids, 16, 17-year-old. They took us to Széchenyi, it's called a small city. And over there, the Hungarian cops, they took us to a place there. They took away from us everything, watches, whatever we have, the available things, they can use it. From there, they took us away to Kiskunlachháza, which is a place near Budapest. Over there he was working we made an airport for the Germans. It was about 15 kilometers near to the city. We worked very hard. I don't say the food was not bad. We slept in how you call it? with the animals living.
Barn.
Stable.
Stables.
We lived in a stable, and we worked hard over there. We was there until a few months. Then they took us away to Ferry Hedge.
There's something before that.
To Ferry Hedge. There's also airport where he was working on the airport to make available for the Germans to use it. Over there we was separated in different houses. We lived in different houses, and we was there until October 10th, until the Hungarian government wanted to give up the war. We was very happy that the war is over, but after a few hours we find out that it's not. A leader, which his name is Szálasi, took over the leadership, and then went back everything on where we was. So from there they took us to another place, which is called Szent Király Szabadja. That was also, we worked there on a airport. And over there was very bad. Always came the Russian airplanes coming and they shoot at us, and it was very dangerous. So we had a very hard time. It was, and at that time, it was much worse than it was in the beginning. The Hungarian guard, I can say, it was worse than the Germans, even. It was a few German guys. It was very nice to us. It wasn't the real SS guys like there was many places. So we was there about till February, and then we moved again to another place which called Szombathely. And then no, we just went over there, and then we went to a small place, it's called Vape. Over there we was working in, how you call this? Over there he was working in a forest, and it was winter time, it was very cold, we worked very hard. So, and people get sick, and we get, how is this, yeah, many people get lice and get sick from this. We didn't have the right sanitation to clean up and everything. So we had a very bad time over there. Since we heard that the Russians are too close to us, and they start to move us over to the German borders, and the people, the Jewish leader which was with us, they influenced our officers not to take us over to German. So we were sitting there a few weeks and wait until the Russian came out and liberate us. So we was very happy then. We kissed them, and what was the thanks for the kisses? The Russian took away everything from us, what we had left. That film, they threw away everything, what they could. So from then on, we start to walk, because it wasn't any transportation. We start to walk backwards to Budapest. And I get sick on my leg, I couldn't walk, I get an infection. And we had one wagon we have with 2 horses, which the Russian, they were changing all the time the horses, because they was needing always fresh horses. So hardly I get up to the wagon, and so little by little, slowly we get to Budapest. In Budapest, the Russian took us to a camp, and they separated the Czech people from the Hungarian people. We didn't know what's all about it, and everybody was going to his group. So, and the Czech people, which I was belonged to, they liberated, and the other group, the Hungarian, they took to Russian again. There I had also a cousin with me, and they took him away to Russian. He was there 2 years. So that was about the end, and then after they released us, we start to look after our relatives in Budapest, because everybody was coming in over there. In the meantime, I enjoyed myself to the Mizrahi organization, and we went to Akshara in Budapest. I was there in a few months. In the meantime, I was looking my brothers and sisters. One of my brother was living in Budapest all the time with Christian paper. But after I came to where he lived in, and his address, I found out that they killed him. So this woman where he lived, he gave me all his things that he had, pictures and film and all his private things. So I was very sad, and I went back to the Akshara, and then I was waiting to my other brothers and sisters. People came home, they said they are in life, so I was very happy to hear that. And one of the day I went over to this place where my oldest brother was lived, and at the same time I met my other 2 brothers over there, the same place. They was also looking for the oldest brother. So we met over there. I was very happy to see each other. I took them to the Akshara where I was, and they freshen up there, I get some eat from them, everything. And then we was waiting to our one sister. We found out that she is on the way to Budapest, and she was sick. We find her in a hospital in Budapest. But later on she got well, and it was everything fine. We was together, the whole family, without the parents. The parents they killed in Auschwitz. I don't know the exact date, but because nobody came home with this group, which they took away to Auschwitz with them, nobody came home alive. So then my brother went to another place in Hungary, and I stayed with my youngest brother in the Akshara, and we decided to go to Israel. So after a few months, we went to another place in Hungary, to Akshara, which called Szerencs, where we was also working a little bit and learning, and so we was there a few months, and then in 1946 we went to Israel. Illegal. So first we went to Italy, and from Italy we went to Greek. In Greek we spent also about 5-6 months. We was there in Akshara until finally we get up one night on a small ship, if you can call this a ship, and so we went to Israel. That was in July 1946. We arrived near to the Israel borders, and the English, that time was the English government there. They catch us, and they took us to a camp in Haifa, which called Athlete. So we was there about 2 weeks, and then they released us. So after that, we went to Pardes Chana. That's a moshava in between Haifa and Tel Aviv. So we started to work and lived our Israeli life until 1948. No, I'm sorry, 1947. November we went in to the Haganah, because that time it started the war between the Arabs and Israel, not legal war, but here and there was fighting. So we went to the Haganah, and at that time it wasn't the real military like today. So, and in 1948, in April, I was wounded on my leg. So they took me in a hospital in Afula, where I lived, where I was treated about 6 months. And after that, they transfer me over to a hospital in Haifa because they need a place over there to other casualties. And in hospital from there I left after a few months. It was in 1949 to a sanatorium for 2 months about. And then I went back to Paris Khana, and as a war invalid, where I start to work. Well, yeah, I forgot to tell that I lost my brother too in the same action where I was wounded. I lost my little brother. He was with me together in this war, and so I was alone. So I went back. The life must go on. I start to work in a tzorchaniya, that is like a grocery type, by a cashier, because I couldn't stay too long on my feet. And many of my friends, I lost them in the war, and I have to look myself new friends, which was very easy at that time. So then I met in 1950. I met my wife, and 1949 I met my wife, and in 1950 we got married. So, and then so we lived. We have 2 boys, nice boys. I was very happy. And then in 1960, I don't know what came in my mind, but we left Israel and we came to the United States. And we are here.
Was the first ghetto that you lived in the same town where you lived before the war?
The same, yes.
Yeah. Describe your life prior to the ghetto, what you lived on. Were there any contact with non-German, non-Jews? Were you in touch with people abroad? Were there persecutions or pogroms in your town?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know what to answer.
You want me to start again?
Let me just... describe your life. The answer is no.
To all of it?
Yeah.
And what
describe
did you...
your life prior to the ghetto. What do you mean prior? Before. So I describe it. I told you already. My life. I was working in a brick factory to help out the parents to make a living. And how did you live? Non-Germans, non-Jews. No.
And there were no pogroms?
No.
How did you react to the news that the ghetto would be set up?
First, we didn't want to believe the whole thing that it could happen to us. Everybody was waiting for a nest, but then we took it. It came so quickly, everything, that we couldn't think it what it could be the next.
Did the other people react the same way as you?
Everybody react the same way.
Was there a Judenrat in your ghetto?
What?
There was
yes,
a
there was
Judenrat.
Yeah.
Do you remember the names of any of them?
Well, I remember one of them who was really the translator from the. He knew very good German. His name was Beck, and there was another few people. Which was the president of the congregation of the synagogue, and there was 3 or 4 candidates who took care, who took orders from the Germans, and then they
were they picked by the Germans?
They was picked, I think so, yeah. I'm not sure.
What did that Judenrat do in the ghetto? In other words,
well, like I said, I don't know. I was only we moved in afternoon. I was sleeping over at night. In the morning, I left.
So you don't know if they had any schools or anything?
I don't know. No, I have no idea.
What did you personally think of the Judenrat then?
Well, I personally, they did their work as best as they can. As I heard later on, they hit them very hard, the Germans, to get out the truth from them. Where the gold is hidden and everything of these things.
And what did the other people in the town think of them?
Well, they think, I don't know what they think because I left it.
Do you have
so
a
I couldn't say too much about this thing.
Do you have a different opinion now about the Judenrat, or is it the same thing you thought then?
Well, I tell you, very much opinion I didn't have at that time. I was almost a kid at that time, so I would say if it would really happen today, these things, I would think other way.
You don't
but
know.
They try to do their best.
You don't know if after that Judenrat, if they were sent away, if there was another Judenrat? In other words, were they deported and you don't know?
I don't know. No.
And in what was forced labor done in the ghetto itself?
That what?
Was forced labor done in the ghetto? In other words, the people living in the ghetto, were they working?
No, they did nothing.
They did nothing.
Nothing.
Was there an organization of Jewish police?
I don't know. In the ghetto?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Were there food rations in the ghetto?
I don't know. As I said, I wasn't there, so I cannot answer you.
Do you know if there was a housing committee in the ghetto? You know, a housing committee to tell people where they had to move to when they moved into the ghetto?
I think there was. Yeah.
Who picked the housing committee?
Probably the government there.
The Germans?
Together with the Hungarian.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if there was any typhoid or any other epidemics in the ghetto?
Typhoid, I don't know what this is. One thing I must tell you that after the ghetto, I wasn't there, but like I heard, they took all the people in the same brick fabric where I was working before. before they took them away to Auschwitz, they took them over there in this brick fabric from the ghetto.
Oh.
So they wasn't there all the time in the ghetto until they took them eventually to Auschwitz.
You don't know anything about it?
My sister, would you answer more than me, because she was there in the ghetto.
Did you give me her name someplace?
All right, later. Because she could answer you all these questions. She doesn't know English.
She doesn't know English at all. I can imagine.
Because
Do you know if there were any schools in the ghetto?
I don't think so.
Do you know
There wasn't too long time in the ghetto. They transferred them to the brick fabric.
Do you know if there were any shuls? Yeshivas?
Schools? No. Probably there was a place in some house where there was davening, but no. The shul was only two shuls. Was there Orthodox shul and a conservative shul? That was in the whole city, but not in the ghetto.
Were any very prominent rabbis in that ghetto?
Yeah, our rabbi was there. His name was Unsdorfer, and he was there with other people.
And they were davening in somebody's house?
Probably. I'm sure.
Yeah. Do you know if there was any special place in the ghetto to take care of children?
I don't know.
Did you have any contact with non-German, non-Jews? In other words, with
No, I never had no.
Did you meet any Germans?
No.
Did you see any
Then?
in the ghetto?
No.
Did you see any actions in the ghetto? In other words, when they're deporting people from the ghetto?
No.
You didn't try to escape?
No.
Do you know if there was an underground in the ghetto?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Do you know if they made up any songs in the ghetto?
No.
Were there any youth movements or party organizations in the ghetto?
I don't think so. If there was a mood to make parties or something like that.
No, this means political parties, like.
I don't know.
Was there a resistance movement in the ghetto?
I don't know.
To try. How old were you when you were first drafted to forced labor?
It was 25, 43. I was 17.
17. Which year were you drafted in? March 44?
44.
When they drafted you, did you know that you were going to serve as a forced labor in the army?
No. No, nobody knew it, what they're going to do with us.
Now, would you describe the unit or the group that you were in? How many Jews were there? What kind of soldiers were in charge? Were there any non-Jews?
The non-Jews, there was our guards. Otherwise, we was all Jewish.
How many were there?
Oh, there was hundreds and hundreds. There was not only the youth, there was older people too.
About how many?
There was not only from our city, there was from all over. How many we was? About 300 together.
And there were no non-German, there were no non-Jews on the working force.
No,
they were all guards.
No. Yeah, only sure.
And what was the attitude of the guards towards the Jews? How did the guards treat the Jews?
Well, our guards, I can say, it's like I said before, the Germans guards was better than the Hungarian guards. They wanted to show up that they can do better, the Hungarian.
Do you remember any stories you can tell me about how the gods treated the Jews?
Not especially. Not especially. Well, once I didn't feel good, so I didn't went out to work. So the Hungarian guard catch me and he beat me. But otherwise, no special story.
You never got sent to Russia?
No.
Did you ever meet the local population in those places where you were sent to?
Never.
Did you ever?
We didn't have any contact with them.
Did you ever meet any of the Jews from those cities?
No, it wasn't there any Jews at that time.
Did you ever meet any Russian prisoners of war?
No.
What was the attitude of the Hungarian guards?
Well, they was worse than the Germans. And like I said,
how high was the mortality rate among the men? How many of them died?
In our group, no one.
No one? Did you see anything while you were working in those places? Did you see any of the communities around being destroyed?
Which communities?
Did you see any other Jewish communities from those places where you were working?
No,
Could you see
I
any?
didn't see
Nothing.
anything, no.
Were you ever captured by the Russians?
We was liberated by the Russians, not captured.
Yeah, but before that...
Yeah, we was captured before, like I said, when we went to Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
They took us in a camp over there, and over there they separated us, the Czech from the Hungarian. No, only that time we was captured by them. So we was under their commendation.
For how long?
For a few hours.
That's all?
Yeah.
You never were in the Ukraine, or you were never in the
No.
partisans or any
No.
resistance?
No.
Question number 9.
Well, when we came back to Hungary, I never left Hungary. But when we came back to Budapest, the whole city was bombed down, and so, like I said, I went right away to the Mizrahi organization, and they took care of us. About my fellow workers, they are all everybody went to other places. A few people stay with me, but many of them, they went home. Maybe they find something at the hometown. And I did too. I was there only one night. I was there, and I didn't find nothing and nobody. So again, I came back to Budapest.
questionnaire number 2. What is the name of the camp and the location of the camp?
That wasn't any name for, no, it was no name for the camp.
And the city?
No camp, we didn't have any names for wherever I was, there was no name for the camp. That's the names what I gave, that's the names of this place, this city, the town. There was
what's the town that it was nearest to?
This is Sheino, that was the nearest town. Nearest town was Rimasombat. I don't remember.
What kind of a camp was it?
That wasn't really a camp, that was our first stop.
Uh-huh.
And over there, the Hungarian guards, they took us apart.
Mm-hmm.
They took away every available things from us. And we was there on the first place. It was only, I think, a few days only, and then we went to the other place. It was Kiskunlacháza, that was near Budapest.
We'll get to that one.
All right.
Were you shipped to the first camp together with your family?
No.
What happened to the family?
I don't know. I didn't know. We didn't hear nothing.
Were you brought to that camp as a result of an action?
The result is...
Why were you brought to that camp?
That we find out later.
Yeah.
We found out later that.
Yeah. What did you find out?
That they want us to get to work for them. Free.
Was there a selection in the camp when you came in?
Selection?
Everybody
No.
went to work?
No, everybody.
Did you know anything about mass destruction before you came to camp? Did you know anything about, concentration camps and killing centers and these things?
No. That's what I said before. We didn't want to believe what was happened for the Polish people and all this, where they took away them from 1939.
Did you
we
know
didn't
about
want to
it?
believe it. That we heard something, yeah, but we didn't want to believe it that it could come to us too.
Did you think you were going to survive when they took you to this camp? In other words, did you think anything was going to happen to you, or did you just think you were going to work?
No, only for work.
For work. Describe the layout of the camp, what it looked like.
Which one? The first one?
We're still on the first
one. There was nothing there. Only a little farm, I can say.
What kind of guards did it have? German guards or?
Only Hungarian guards we have there.
Do you know how many?
Well, it was about 10, 12, I can't remember.
Was there a commandant? A commanding officer?
Sure there was.
Do you remember his name?
No.
No. Do you know how many people were in the camp?
And that place was about 150.
And did they all come from the same city as you?
Yes.
What happened on the day that you arrived?
No, I can't remember what happened. I don't remember. Like I said, they took us to this farm there, and then we had to stay there, and then under the sun, and everybody was. We had to open it all our bags and baggages to show, and then to leave there, and they took us away from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went over there and they took everything available from there. We didn't do nothing there. We stayed there only 1 or 2 days, I think.
Where did you sleep?
Well, we sleep in a barn or something like that.
Did they give you food?
No.
Not at all?
Everybody had food that we bought from home. Everybody bought for 2-3 days food.
And how did the inmates get along? Were they friendly to each other?
Oh, yes. It was,
can you tell me any stories?
No.
No? What was the attitude of the guards?
The attitude of the guards, there was animals. What can I say?
Did you have blood?
Chenderek, you remember that wasn't really, there were special guards.
Of what
A
nationality?
special, Hungarian, there were special guards chosen for this occasions.
Were there any carpus or blockhead tester and things like this?
No, we didn't have this.
They were, all the guards were Hungarian?
Yes, until we get to the other place.
We're getting there. There were no non-Jews in this place except for the guards?
No.
Everybody was Jewish except the guards?
Everybody was Jewish.
Was there a first aid station? Doctor or a nurse or something?
No.
No. Were you ever sick in this camp?
Yes, I was sick once. I ate too much once, and I get I had fever too.
But nobody helped you to get
not
well?
Not really, huh?
Nobody helped you to get well?
No, it wasn't any doctor there, no.
Was there an underground or a resistance movement in the camp?
No.
Did you get any packages from anybody while you were there?
No.
Did anybody else get any packages?
Not the first place.
In the first place, no.
No.
Do you know why you were transferred from the first place to the second place?
Nobody knows. Nobody told us.
How did you go from one place to the other? By foot or
by foot?
By foot. All right. What was the name of the second place you were in?
That was Kiskunlacháza, which is near Budapest. And it was building an airport for the Germans.
And from what date until what date were you there?
That I can't remember. From April till September.
1944.
44.
You came to the camp by yourself? Nobody from your family?
Yeah, by myself.
And you came to do forced labor?
Well, I had one of my cousins was with me.
And you came to do forced labor?
Yes.
Was there a selection when you came into the camp, or did everybody just go to work?
Everybody go.
Can you describe the layout of the camp and the guards and the commanders and the inmates and all of that?
The layout of the camp was a big farm, which was emptied out through the Germans, especially for us to. So we lived there in barns and barns.
What kind of guards were there?
There was Germans already and Hungarian, both.
Do you know how many?
Not too many Germans, 4 or 5 Germans, which I cannot complain of them. They was really nice people.
And there was
and we had the Hungarian, the same guards, not the same which we had the first place.
No, but just as bad.
Not just as bad, but worse than the Germans.
How many inmates were there in the camp? Prisoners.
Over there we was already about 300.
And where did they all come from?
From other places.
Do you know which places?
I don't know. They come from all over from here, from Balasagyarmat, all around these small places.
But where did
Salgotarian,
Where did you work?
Where I worked we was working in an airport.
In an airport?
We was building an airport.
Uh-huh. And what kind of food did you get?
We had food, not bad. We had really, over there we had food.
And you
I cannot say that I hungered or something like that all the time.
Did you sleep still in a barn?
Yeah, all the time. No, they didn't give us hotels.
No, I didn't think.
Not even motels.
Did the prisoners get along with each other?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You have any stories you can tell me about it?
Not really.
No. Were there any blockgelters or capos?
No.
No. Do you remember the names of any of the guards?
No.
They were only Hungarian and German, nothing else?
Yes.
Were there any prisoners that were not Jewish?
No.
Did anybody die?
No.
Was there a doctor or a nurse?
No.
Did you get sick in this camp?
In this camp I get sick, not before, in this camp.
Oh, it's this one that you got sick in?
Yeah, so it was different.
But nobody cured you? There was nobody to give you medicine or anything?
No.
Did you ever, was there an underground or a resistance movement in the camp?
No.
Did you get any packages from anybody?
No, I didn't, but it was people who get. We had one guy which was the translator for the Germans, who went every day to Budapest with the Germans. And he bought packages and he made a monkey business, bought monies and everything, you know.
Do you know why you were transferred from this camp to the next one?
No.
No. Did you go on foot?
Oh, this one, because here we finished the work.
You finished building
the airport? We finished building the airport, so they took us to the other airport.
Did you go by foot?
We was experts by airport.
Did you go on foot? Or in a train or in a...
By foot.
By foot?
Yeah.
All right, so now we are on the... I think we
are here already.
We are on the third one. Yeah. What was the name of the third one?
Ferryhead.
And where was it?
That was a airport. A ready airport. We was just there fixing up things.
What city?
That was also not too far from Budapest.
And from what date to what date were you there?
Well, from September till October 10th.
1944.
44.
Did you come to the camp alone?
No.
With the cousin? No, I mean...
We go together.
The
whole group. With alone, yeah. Yes, he was alone.
You were brought there for forced labor?
Yes.
Was there a selection?
Selection of... No.
No. Did anybody die in the camp?
No.
Can you describe the layout of the camp and the guards?
Layout of the camp, there wasn't any camp there. We was living in separate houses. Not in the houses, in the barns, by houses. That was so it wasn't a real camp, which was we was living all of us together.
Did any of these camps have barbed wires around them?
No.
No. What were they enclosed with?
We could go away. Anybody could go away if they want to.
Oh. What kind of guards did this have?
The same guards we had.
German and Hungarian?
We had before, yeah.
Where did the inmates come from? The prisoners?
The same place, from Hungarian. All of them from Hungarian.
How many were there?
The whole group, we was translated over there, from about 300.
And what kind of food did you get?
Well, we had food like not as good as before, because they didn't have a kitchen like over there. We had not bad, I can say. It was bad food.
And as soon as you got there, you started working on airplanes.
We had food by the houses too, where he was living.
Who
The
was
people,
living in the houses?
the Christian people who was living there.
And did they ever give you food? Were they nice?
For money, why not?
Were they
Who
nice?
had money. Some of them was nice, some of them not. So, you know.
Did they know you were Jewish?
Sure they were.
Did the inmates, the prisoners, get along with each other?
Yes, all the time.
And what was the attitude of the guards?
Well, the same like before.
The Germans were still better than the Hungarians.
Yeah.
Did you have any blood tests through a car post?
No.
Do you know how many guards there were?
Like before, all the time we had the same guards until the end of the war.
And about 10 or 12 of them?
Yeah.
So if there was no barbed wire and there was no fence around the camp, what prevented somebody from walking out?
Well, it was nowhere to go. We didn't have, you should have paper or something. We didn't have it.
You were wearing uniforms or?
No.
Just regular clothes?
Regular clothes. And he was wearing
armbands?
Yellow armbands.
With a star or?
Not the star was in the ghettos
but
at
this
home.
is just a plain. There was no other nationality, just German and Hungarian guards.
Right.
There were no prisoners that were not Hungarian.
Right.
And they were all Jewish.
Yes.
And nobody died.
No.
Were there any doctors or nurses?
No.
Were you sick?
No.
No. Was there an underground or resistance movement in the camp?
No.
Did anybody get packages from outside?
Over there, I don't think so, no.
Do you know why you were transferred from there to
no.
the next camp?
No, I don't know.
Did you go by foot or by train?
By foot.
By foot. What was the name of the next camp?
The next place was, it wasn't a camp, it was a place, Cynthia.
And what city is it near?
That was near Szombathely. Székesfehérvár. Who the hell knows?
Did you come there with the whole rest of the group? Did everybody go together?
No. From here, there was a few people who escaped to Budapest. Then at that time, in October 10th, like I said, it was a change in a government. And when they announced that they give up, so many of people they ran away to Budapest. And like I heard, they catched many of them, and a few of them they was lucky. They get to Budapest. They get some papers, false papers. So and then so that was on October 10th. Then we went over there, the Szent Király Szabadja.
And you stayed there until?
We stayed there until it was winter time, February, I think. I can't remember for exact dates. I'm sorry.
And you don't know why you were brought there?
No.
Was there any selection when you came into the camp?
No.
Did anybody die in the camp?
No.
Describe the layout of the camp.
Well, that was also not a real camp. It was
barns?
Little houses, almost like barns. Not exactly, but bungalows.
What kind of guards did it have?
The same guards like before.
German and Hungarian?
German and Hungarian.
Was there a commandant?
There is always a commandant. It was a Hungarian commandant.
Do you know his name?
Officer. No, I don't remember his name. He was not bad.
Do you know how many prisoners there were?
Yeah, he was there. No, over there, as like I said, they escaped a few. I can say about 250.
And where did they all come from?
The same place, Hungarian.
From the same camp as
From
you
the
were in
same
before?
Before, yeah.
Where did you work?
And also airplanes.
What kind of food did they feed you?
Food was pretty good. It was not bad.
And where were you sleeping, in barns?
In barns, yeah.
Did the prisoners get along well with each other?
Yes.
Do you have any stories to tell?
No.
No stories. What was the attitude of the guards? What were the guards like?
It was the same guards. They didn't change.
The
same guards always. We had the same guards.
The same ones. They moved with you.
Yeah.
Oh. And there were no capos here either.
No.
Were there any non-Jewish prisoners there?
No.
And were there any that were not Hungarian?
No.
Was there a first aid station? Doctor, nurse?
Doctor, no. It was a first aid, but not doctors, no.
Nurses?
No nurses.
Or who ran it?
Who see nurses? Nurses.
Who ran it?
What? One of our...
A prisoner?